Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. It's that time of the month, no pun intended. Top 5 perfumes for the month of January 2020. This is the beginning of a new year and the beginning of a new decade. So what are the first 5 of this new decade and year and month? Before we get to it, thank you too much, but thank you so much to my patrons for supporting and helping out the channel on Patreon. Super Dacob spelled together on Patreon. On Patreon, you get to see this video ad-free, plus a longer version of it. But let's get straight to it. This is my number 1. This one is very rarely in the list, but it is now. Chanel's Eau de Cologne. What a strange thing, right? To choose the Eau de Cologne for January, in the midst of the cold. There's something cooling in the morning. I like this one because the Chanel Eau de Cologne, and I have a really early formulation of it. This one is, what batch number is this? 0301. This one still is very, very strong and rich in vanilla. And that vanilla with the freshness of the cologne early in the morning, oh, it's just so delicious. It's like having breakfast, but it doesn't make you hungry. You know, some perfumes, when you're like waking up in the morning, kind of hungry, you need a coffee, or you need an orange juice, or you need a brioche, you need something sweet. Well, sometimes some fragrances kind of accentuate that hole in the stomach, and it just doesn't go well. But the Eau de Cologne is perfection. It's soothing and it's nourishing. So in the winter months, when I'm usually more hungry than I am in summer months, which I guess is normal, being that it's so cold and all, this one is really very soothing. Let me smell it now. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Very rarely does an Eau de Cologne have that sort of a delicate but sensual vanilla to add a little teeny tiny touch of gourmand to an Eau de Cologne. That's the one. So this is my number 1 of the 5. As the day progresses, now winter kicks in and there's a heft to winter. Now, an Eau de Cologne needs another Eau de Cologne, even though this Eau de Cologne is as powerful as they get. I've never smelled another Eau de Cologne as strong as Eau Noire by Christian Dior, what used to be the Privé line. This is a 250 ml spray bottle, but you could twist this off and it can also be a splash bottle. Yes, this is how they used to look like. This is the first formulation of Eau Noire as a cologne, not as an Eau de Parfum. It is delicious. Look at that licorice lavender pleasure. It's a bit dried up, the nozzle here, spray nozzle. What a way to kind of switch from the coolest of colognes to the hottest of colognes, but I like that for January. I so see that journey for me. To quote Schitt's Creek. By the way, love Schitt's Creek. Watch it. Last season is out now. Weekly episodes coming out. I'm living for it, and I'm already crying with it because it's in its last season. And I have said it already on Twitter. Super Dacob spelled together, by the way. Follow me there if you haven't. And I shall repeat it here again. If any of the makers of Schitt's Creek watch this, if you ever do after the TV show consider making a movie of Schitt's Creek, I will grant you access and to use the Fashion Bunker archives for the movie, for the costumes. To see Moira Rose wear one of my pieces would be literally, I could die in peace after that. All right, I could borrow her my babes. Eau Noire is incredibly deep and warm. By the way, check out the review of all these perfumes. Links that I've made, links are in the description box underneath this video, but also sprinkled throughout in the card section up above. The cool heart of this one, as opposed to the hot, heat, burnt heart of this one. They're just so perfect together. First 2 hours of the day this, and then I go immediately with this one. Yes, during the daylight. I know in winter, you know, night falls, well, depending which part of the hemisphere you're on this globe that we call planet Mother Earth. But in the northern hemisphere, it's kind of nightfall very early on in January. About 4 or 5 p.m., it's already night. But already from, let's say, noon onwards, it's a delight to wear this one, as heavy as it is. It can get even heavier than this, though. And I see that for January. And around 5, 6 p.m., I jump into something that's unfortunately been discontinued, but I love it so much. Noble Leather. It's reflecting everything. You can't really see it. gold reflects like crazy. Noble Leather by Yves Saint Laurent. Now, Noble Leather has been discontinued, unfortunately. The plum saffron, actually, they used to, this is not, the gold is a fingerprint magnet. This is not a tester. This is not a sample. And yet, the purchased bottle also delivers the accords written on the side. Accord says here, leather, saffron, dried fruits, vanilla, and patchouli. This one is a bomb, and it is reminiscent of certain substances that we cannot mention here on the tubes. So you can imagine, I mean, it's magical, it's magnificent. Look at the hot color of it, the ambery brown color. Look at that color, that gold color. I only have half a bottle left. This was an 80 milliliter bus. I only got 40 ml left. This is delicious, but it is so dark. It is so sensual. I can't say the other word because we're on the tubes, but it's just beyond that, and it drives you nuts. And it does top this one in terms of intensity. I mean, this is an eau de parfum, so from the colognes we have jumped onto, even though, as I said, eau noire is more eau de parfum, maybe even bordering to parfum than a cologne. But that was the magic of perfumes back in the early 2000s. Alas, most of that magic is gone today. Noble Leather delivers a punch and delivers a welcoming note to the coldest of winter nights. As the night has fallen, as the evening has come and the night has fallen, this one welcomes the depths of night, because we do have the longest nights. I mean, we know that the longest night was in December of the year, but still, nights are still dominating. Night is still dominating our existences and our lives until March, when we have the solstice, right? When the day and night equal out each other, and then the days start getting longer and longer. After Noble Leather, I tone it down just a little bit for a second, but we're going, you see, with the concentrations here, eau de cologne, which could be an eau de parfum, an eau de parfum. Now we're moving into the parfum territory. Fahrenheit, Dior's pure perfume of Fahrenheit. Delicious. This is my number 4. And the sensuality of this one, of course, it's not as intense as Noble Leather. It doesn't have that depth. It doesn't have that aggressive sensuality in it. But it has a very alluring and welcoming tone to it, which definitely gives you a vibe. It tells you, okay, come in. It welcomes that stranger that you've met at a bar, in a club, or whatever have you. It welcomes them in. And so it welcomes the depth of night. And that's why it's so perfect. Fahrenheit has, the pure perfume, has that quality to it. And interestingly enough, we're kind of connecting to the beginning, because here we had vanilla. There's a beautiful vanilla in here. Demachy is really good with his vanillas for Dior. And Fahrenheit does have a heart of vanilla that is delicious. By the way, you could check out the review of this perfume also either in the cards up above or in the link to my review video in the description underneath this video. Once you have welcomed in that person that you really want to get to know better, what do you offer them? What is it that locks them into your attraction or field of attraction and keeps them going? And this is the pure perfume again, the purest of perfumes, CUIR de Russie, the pure perfume of CUIR de Russie. And, you know, I want to support, and this one is very dusty inside because, you know, that's how dirty they get when you have splashes. I have this many years. This is normal, by the way. As icky as it looks, that's what it is. It makes it just that much more sensual to me, personally. But anyway, that's just me talking. CUIR de Russie. The pure perfume is much warmer than the eau de toilette, that unfortunately has been discontinued. And, of course, light years better than the eau de parfum. It's still in production. I want to support pure perfumes because it's an art that's dying out. People are not purchasing them really very much anymore. So I try to put perfumes into my selections as much as pure perfumes into my selections because, first of all, they're amazing. They're incredible. There's a totally different art to applying them and using them than just spraying on other products that are less concentrated. But not just that, pure perfumes are kind of very powerful keys. They, not that they're just pure essential oils, they're not. Some of them are far from that. And most perfumes, most pure perfumes stay much more close to the skin than their other concentration counterparts, as are eau de parfums or eau de toilettes. But they are just that much more sensual and connected to you. They are those keys that most than any other concentration really bonds with your chemistry, bonds with your own essential oils, with your own hormonal balances or unbalances. Why not? We are in January after all. And they deliver a punch to you because you see the pure perfume, all of these other concentrations are more like for, okay, let me spray it on. I'm going to walk around the city with a cloud surrounding me and I'm going to punch other people with the smell, or I'm going to attract other people with the smell. It's usually the art of perfuming yourself is different with all the concentrations. They're very much giving, but the pure perfumes are the ones that are taking. And that's the beauty of the pure perfume, because you wear it for yourself. They usually stick to you. They're very close to the skin. You smell yourself. You smell wafts of the warmth of the dry down of the pure perfume on yourself, and it's delicious throughout the entire day or night. And that's the difference to the other concentrations, because the pure perfume is something you do for yourself. It's a pleasure you give to yourself because you deserve it. And that's why Russian leather in particular ends the night, because you do it to yourself, and then the person that's lucky enough to be with you in that moment gets really lucky, because they get to share your skin and they get to smell you really up close, and they get to also smell that magic, which is CUIR de RUSSIE in pure perfume form on your skin. And then, of course, with the sweat, you know, it blends very well with whatever type of chemistry you're having with another person. So, catch my drift and enjoy it. That would be my top 5. I hope you've liked this video and my lineup. Let me know what your lineup is, and which actually, what I want to know is also, do you tend to wear stronger fragrances or less strong fragrances in winter? I know for some of you who are in Australia, for example, it's summer now. And by the way, God, Australia, I'm really, really praying for a speedy recovery of all the human beings and of all nature and animals down under. That devastating. And in that devastation, I still hope that you guys do not give up on love, and I still hope that you find ways to find some pleasure in living. And I know you do, because as far as I know, my viewers are very strong, and they all have an instinct of survival that is very, very, very strong. And that's what makes you so special. And that's what makes our community so special. That's what makes the Fashion Bunker so special, per se. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned if you're a patron to see the continuation of this video, because there's more to say. For my other viewers, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.